This video app review is brought to you by the iPhoneAppReview.com.
What's up, everybody? This is Luke Patrick with the iPhoneAppReview.com. Today we're slinging out yet another video review, this time taking a look at an application called LifeLine Response, which is available on iOS and Android, and I want to say another platform too, maybe Windows Phone, but I don't quite remember. But this application actually has us quite excited because it's the style of app that we're always talking about. That is, it's an app that actually improves the quality and or safety of your life, which is a unique position that your phone has. This is something that your alarm clock's not going to really do. In fact, it might do the opposite. Whereas LifeLine Response actually has the potential to save your life and or just generally speaking make it better. And the way that this works is the application sits in your pocket with the idea behind that being that you set up certain timer modes, and we're looking at those two modes right now. I've got thumb mode and timer mode, and we will talk more about those in just a second. But all I want to say at this point is that these will be live, and in your pocket, and the idea is that if you don't disarm them at the right time, or if the certain situations, certain extenuating circumstances are not met, they will go off, and then they will call the developer's alert center, where someone will receive the information that your phone has not been disarmed and is actually going off. And then they will actually call the local authorities. Well, first they'll call you to try to just be sure everything is okay. Sort of in the same way that your house alarm works. If your house alarm goes off and you're not there to talk to the person on the other end, they will call the police. The same thing with LifeLine Response. They'll actually call local authorities. We'll go to your last known location. We'll try to find you, etc., etc. So obviously, if you haven't put together yet, the idea behind this is that, let's say you're out walking around, like I used to live in Denver, so if I'm walking around the back part of Colfax late at night, just a sketchy part of town, and I'm going through an alleyway that I'm a little concerned about, I can easily turn on the thumb mode, which I'll show you in just a second, keep my finger on the phone, and then if something happens and everything goes wrong, then the phone will go off, call center is alerted, they alert the authorities, etc., etc., and then the troops come in mass, which is actually, it's a fantastic idea. It's just brilliant. It's one that obviously makes you feel more secure, and obviously means that you will actually get help if you in fact need it, which is that's a big deal. So here's the account setup, which we're going to go ahead and show you. So for instance, when you first boot up the app, it's going to ask you for some very basic information. I've kind of just thrown in some random stuff. For instance, I don't live on 11 Downing Street, just down from the Prime Minister, etc., etc. But when you first boot this up, this is what you'll be immediately greeted with. So you go through and you just enter whatever it is that you want to enter. So for instance, let's say I moved to 10 Downing Street, because I've been elected apparently. Then you simply hit next. And then it goes to the next section. So we go from contact info to my codes. So for instance, my disarm code, and this is extremely important. Your disarm code is the one code that you'll be using throughout the app to actually set up the alarms and then to disarm them, which is extremely important because if you don't disarm them, then you will be getting a call. So for instance, my disarm code is 2010. So I'm going to leave it at that so I don't forget halfway through the review and accidentally put someone through. Then it will set up your silent alarm code. Your silent alarm code is 2011. So let's say you get into a situation where it's noticed that you have LifeLine Response open, but you still want to call for help. That's where the silent alarm code comes in. Basically, you can pull out the phone, and if someone's like, hey, you should turn that off, I'm robbing you, or probably not that politely, please, sir, would you? You can simply type in the silent alarm code, which it sets up automatically for you based on your other code. So mine is currently 2011, so I type that in. The idea being, as soon as I've done that, then the application will actually automatically set off the alarm, but in a silent way, so that they don't know what's happening. But the authorities have still been alerted, and hopefully everything is still okay. That's extremely cool. The fact that it's in here and that it's generated automatically is great. We'll talk more about design and automation in just a second, but absolutely fantastic. I'll ask you a very simple question, of which there are numbers, so I just picked what state does your nearest sibling live, which is actually Conway, Arkansas. Male, and I am in fact male. Who knew? Let's go next, and then you go to your profile, you enter some very basic information, and this might seem weird that it's asking about your weight and hair color and all that stuff, but really there's a purpose. The purpose is that if the authorities actually go to the area, this will help them find you. So if you're if you have some reservations about that, throw them out the window, very useful. Name, race, and ethnicity. So I am white Caucasian. I'm 6 feet tall, 154 pounds, blonde, gray eyes, male, and 10/04, 1983. Happy birthday. Okay, now this is very important, and this is the last step. What you're going to be doing is you're going to go in and you're going to add 3 different contacts. So I've set up just 3 contacts I pulled out of my contacts book. But the idea is that when something happens and an alert is sent out, the alert center will actually send an alert to all of these people that are listed here. It'll say what's happened. It'll set up a web portal actually for them to go to and to see your last known whereabouts, to kind of track where you are, etc., etc., which is absolutely fantastic. But you do have to actually go in and set this up. So, for instance, with Carly, there's the information. Everything is good. And in case of something happening, it will actually automatically go and send them a message. So to do this, you simply go add LifeLine, and of course you can go in. Hang on, let me go back for a second. Okay, fine. So let's just enter some made-up bloke named Pete. Pete, whose phone number is 1-693-256-8745. That's your phone number. I apologize. And his email is Peter. Okay, at peter.com. Great. Of course, bogus information, but just testing this out. You can also do, this is what I was trying to show you, is you can do the lookup and address book, which is actually fantastic. You can go through and you have all of your contacts listed out. Simply click them and then you add the information yourself, or you can manually type them in, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and say Pete and see, there you go. Now Peter has been added to my list of contacts. When you're all done, you simply hit done. And then done. You are now good to go. This is what I was talking about with design and flow. Once you've set up these basic contact information and personal bits, the app is ready to roll. There is nothing else that you need to do to ensure that your safety is protected, which is absolutely fantastic. You don't have to mess with the call center. You don't have to do anything of that sort. Everything is just ready to go. Furthermore, let's go ahead and take a look at the modes here, and then I'll wrap everything up. So, for instance, I find the thumb mode is probably perhaps one of the more useful ones. And the idea here is that you simply tap the mode that you want. So, thumb mode. If you want a description, you can hit the I to get that. Let's type in my disarm code. And then as soon as I press and hold this, it's now monitoring. So let's say I'm walking down a dark alley. I simply hold this with my finger. And then if something is to go wrong, or if I decide to end it, the minute I lift my finger off, then it gives me 20 seconds to disarm it. At 7 seconds, it'll actually start to do a loud alarm, which I'm going to skip. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, it scared me. It'll do a very loud alarm. And then if you don't disarm it, obviously in time it will in fact just go off and send the call center, which we're not going to do because I don't want to freak out some call centers today with a false alarm. I don't want to mess with that right now. So timer mode, and the last mode that's involved, same thing. Go in, simply type in your disarm code. Set a timer limit. I'm going to say 30 minutes. So let's say you're going on a 30-minute jog or whatever through possibly a sketchy part of the town. Then you hit next, and away it goes. And then that's all there is to that. So you can go ahead and sleep the phone, listen to your John Mayer or whatever as you run. And then when you're done, you simply do the same thing. Type 2010, and you're good to go. It is that quick. It is that easy. So that's the basic functionality of what the app has to offer. Just to kind of give a quick roundup, we really like the design of the app. We also like the simplicity of it. It's extremely quick to set up, as you saw through the account setup. It's very simple to use. We had no problem getting to the good bits, the protective bits. Price-wise, it's $2.99 in the App Store for a 45-day free trial. Extending your subscription beyond that point will cost you, I think, $22 or $21.95 in-app, which is kind of expensive. But then again, when you really stop to think about it, this is an app that if you use it constantly is serving to protect you. And there's no one more important in your life than you, or your health and safety, we suppose is a better way to phrase that. So at that, reaching that point, the cost that you're going to spend on this application is just not that much to protect your safety. So with all of that in mind, we do have to give LifeLine Response a solid 5 out of 5 star rating. That's a perfect rating from us here at the iPhoneAppReview.com. It's a great app. It offers a lot. And if you're at all concerned about your safety and you live in an urban environment or whatever, and you just want to have something else in the pocket to make sure that you feel comfortable going home or going out, there is nothing better out there, and we really mean that. It's a great app, it's fairly cheap, and it's definitely going to meet your needs. So again, LifeLine Response gets a solid 5 out of 5 from us here at the iPhone, appreview.com, and at this point, that's all I have to say about it. It's a 10-minute video. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. See you guys later. Bye.